one after the other. That's what's up. Because this video, me filming this, is literally right after me filming the other one where I ended it off with saying, don't ever put yourself in a position to be a fifth-year senior, especially in high school. Don't ever put yourself in a position to be a fifth-year senior. I guess to give, again, especially freshmen, more insight on things from all 5 years that I spent at Allen D. Neese High School, and the classes that you should take. If not in your freshman year, you're going to take either somewhere for the next 3 years, to give you some of my personal insight on it. It's somewhat the status quo. I'm not gonna say it's fully normal, but it's definitely the status quo to believe that you're never gonna use this or that or whatever else it is in the real world. It's definitely the regular status quo to believe that or to think that. But I can assure you, don't fully go in there thinking, whatever school you go to, please don't fully go in there thinking, I don't need to learn this, I don't need to learn that. It's not gonna, when it comes to, I'm not gonna, use it in this part of my life or whatever else. Like, again, you really should go in there with a humble attitude, a humble and hungry attitude. No matter what school you go to and whatever, no matter what grade level you go into, you should always walk in there with a humble and hungry attitude, ready to learn whatever it is that these teachers, God first, need to teach you in order to gain, get smarter, gain to the next level, and etc. Make something big and phenomenal and beautiful, bright, big and great out of yourself, and etc. And for your family, etc. But and definitely again in my fifth-year senior knowledge, the classes that you're definitely gonna, you're not gonna be able to question, definitely mean something and are definitely gonna help you in your adult life. Definitely from my experience, financial algebra. Shout out, God bless financial algebra. Again, anything regarding math, a lot of kids are just gonna negatively shun and be like, I don't need it, I don't want it, I'm not gonna, I can't do this, I can't do that. But trust me, financial algebra, especially with the projects that I know I just had to do this past year, about 3 or 4 of them, I do believe so, in financial algebra. It was 4, 2 a semester. Definitely, financial algebra is a class you're gonna need, in the real world. It definitely teaches, especially, and I'm gonna say no matter what school you take it at, it's definitely gonna be helpful. But I definitely hope and pray that whatever school you take it at, you have a good, graceful teacher like I was blessed to have, who's definitely very humble, very smart, genius, and definitely knows how to teach this stuff, so forth and so forth. And I guess anybody who knew my 6th period class last year knows who my financial algebra teacher was at Allen D. Neese High School, by the way, and it was phenomenal. The four projects we did were absolutely phenomenal. And other than that, it's definitely just to say that if I can get to it right quick, it's definitely to say is that the projects you do are definitely going to help you within your, all throughout your life. Those 4 projects you do, because if I can go into specifics, which I'm gonna go into specifics. Some specifics with those projects were, you're gonna, talk about, like rent and mortgages. You're gonna do that. Credit cards. You're definitely gonna do a project on credit cards, rent and mortgages. Jobs, your future job and stuff like that. And so like definitely, cherish that. Whichever year you take financial algebra, definitely cherish that and definitely note to yourself that it's definitely a helpful class that you're gonna need, that really is gonna help map out your future. It's gonna definitely help you see what's truly possible under the budget that you are estimated to have versus what's not possible and or is possible, but you just need a tad bit more budgeting towards getting that goal and dream accomplished, so forth and so forth. At least from, again, all of what I learned. I loved that class, honestly. Financial algebra was awesome for me. God bless everybody who was in that class and had that exact same teacher. She's awesome. She's phenomenal. She's world class. And I hope she wins the lotto one day, because she definitely, again, she deserves that and stuff like that. Other than that, like I said, we have more great teachers, more than just her, but she's definitely one of the top best that you will ever meet in your entire life. Other than that, other classes, econ and government, definitely 2 classes that, regardless of whether you go into politics, especially for government. Regardless whether you ever go to politics or not, that's a class that you are definitely going to want to know something. You're going to want to know something about. You're definitely going to want to. Whether you go into politics or not, you're definitely going to want to know something about it. I can assure you that, you're going to want to know all the branches and whose job is this, and you're going to want to know that stuff. Government is definitely a very, very, very useful class, no matter what your career no matter what your career field is, especially as an adult, unless you just, decide to, in some type of case, isolate yourself from the rest of society and you're going off wherever you go off. Other than that, if you're, living a regular 9 to 5, and whether or not you're raising kids or not, but if you go into a regular 9 to 5 and you live in a, no matter actually where you live, but definitely if you live in a, around, I'm trying to break down whether you live in poverty or whether you live out in places like Nocatee. But I definitely believe that regardless of whether you live in high class, middle class, low class, whatever, you're definitely going to need a class. You're definitely going to need something like government. And again, forgive me if anybody was offended by me trying to, compare and contrast, Nocatee living from poverty living there at all. I was just trying to definitely say that, regardless of what type of living you do, you're going to want to know a class like government, and you're going to want to learn everything that, it has to offer you in terms of, where your money goes here, where, like who collects it, what are they supposed to be funding it to, and all the, and just everything, all the different layers, branches, who has power here, who has power there. You're definitely going to want to, no matter which type of living no matter what type of living you're doing, whether it's, middle class, low class, high class, you're definitely going to want it regardless. You're going to want that regardless. Econ, again, is definitely somewhat you can definitely compare econ to a financial algebra class to a certain degree. The way you can kind of compare it is because even though in financial algebra you're dealing with a heck of a lot more math than you are, even though you're dealing with a heck of a lot more math than than econ. Econ is still very helpful, again, towards knowing, again, parts of government, jobs, the job market here and there, and etc. It's definitely very useful towards knowing that. And again, I'm just trying to give you all my vast knowledge of, again, my 5 years at Allen D. Neese High School. And again, some people can't even begin to understand why I have, again, as much love as I have for Neese High School. But I'm just going to definitely say it's a God's gift, and hopefully one day people will definitely understand why, because I've explained it like God knows how many times. But definitely, those are definitely two classes. Those are definitely, I believe those are two classes that I just explained to y'all straight up. Econ, financial algebra, and I know there's a few more classes I'm just trying to figure out. And if there's not a few more classes that I can personally think about, when it comes to just keeping your GPA up, period, you just never, especially if you play sports, you never want to be on, I guess you could say, a scholarship warning or whatever it's titled. You never want to be on that block to where you even are in close range of risking being benched, not being able to play because your GPA doesn't match up here or doesn't match up there, honestly. And one of the top things that I'm trying to reinvent with high school, or just school period, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to reinvent is just the fact being that stop looking at high school as something that you're just trying to get through for 4 years, which is what a lot of people definitely look at high school as. It's something that I'm just going to get through for 4 years and get to college. Just a bridge that I need to get to college. It is a bridge you need to get to college, but please stop looking at it as just something that I'm just trying to get through. Especially depending on which county you're in and depending on, what opportunities your school has. Especially if you live out here in St. John's and you go to a school like Allen D. Neese, you have so many things to do. Literally, so many things to do, so many clubs to get involved in. It's just so much. It's so vast. It's so widespread. You literally can enjoy. You literally can enjoy. You just have to put yourself in that position to want to enjoy everything. niece, if you were to ask me, is definitely continuously getting better and better and better and better, you know, with everything, definitely. If not with everything, with most things. And definitely, my last year, again, this past year, I feel like I saw more clubs open up this past year than I've ever seen in East High School. And I was greatly amazed. I'm like, wow, really? This, that? Wow, okay, congratulations. And I definitely look forward to, again, coming back and volunteering and being you know, you could say great, yeah, help slash sponsor or whatever of all those great new interesting clubs in which they have opening up all around. It's, again, phenomenal. It's, please, especially freshmen, take all 4 years and enjoy high school. High school can be such a blessing for you. High school can be a huge building block for you. High school can just, again, you shouldn't have to pay a ton of money to go to a private school or go to college in order to enjoy school, which is one of the top things I'm trying to break in terms of, people's perception on school. You can enjoy school. School does, because in many cases for a lot of people, school, sadly, is just a daycare for so many kids. They consider school as just a daycare. You know, and that's, again, a vast problem. Why are you just considering it a daycare? You need to consider it as way more than that, way more. You know, but again, a lot of kids go through so much, regardless whether it's at home life or at school or both, with faculty and staff, with other students, to where that's why they've fed into that ideology that it's just a daycare, or it's just something that we just go to just to get through our day and then whatever else. But I can assure you that, especially if you seek out the right sources, and especially if you go into it with the right mindset, and if not go into the right with the right mindset, you're willing to mold your mindset into the right mindset and other stuff like that. You're definitely gonna find it more now than ever before. It was definitely a beautiful, humbling experience, and it blessed you with so much, so forth and so forth. And yeah, and trying to figure out some other things right quick, if I can think of some other things to talk about. It's 12 minutes into this, but yeah, keep your GPA up, ladies and gentlemen. Try to be involved in as much extracurricular activities as you God first possibly can. You know, and just definitely enjoy. Take every moment as a blessing and enjoy. Soak up as much as you God first need to soak up to help you in your further growth and development, not just for high school, but throughout your entire life, and just enjoy. Just God first, enjoy. So forth and so forth. So again, 12 minutes, about to be 13 minutes into this. More videos coming soon. And again, everything that I pretty much, again, just said within the last 5 minutes, again, explains why I again have the love I have for Nice, and I have the love I have for St. John's, and I have the love that I have for, any and every school district out there to continuously live up. Because almost every school district has a pretty good model to get people to come, but again, when you look in the inside with the work that they actually do, it doesn't fully match up, to where it's really making the type of effect overall it needs to with almost anything, and the categories range, very far from, again, from uh, economic status of, low, medium, high, from race, from just a lot of things. And you're thinking to yourself, who, what, when, where, and how in many cases. But then again, sometimes your home life is responsible for it. Sometimes it's the lack of dedication and certain teachers that are responsible for it. Sometimes it's, how you're being treated by certain students and certain teachers that are responsible for it. It's a lot of various factors, and like I said before, in whatever way I can, regardless whether it's volunteering or not, I definitely want to help clean up as many schools as I possibly can. Because again, I read these school reviews, and I'm absolutely astonished how many schools are absolutely failing and not doing their jobs. I'm absolutely astonished how many schools are practically run, filled with people who just come there to get a paycheck practically every single day. And they're doing just at least the minimum. They're not going out their way to do anything else, to fully live up and, and etc. So regardless whether it's volunteering, whether it's through music and etc., I just hope to God that, like I said, I can continuously be that voice, that beacon of hope, and that bridge to a God first, Jesus Christ salvation, better tomorrow for all people through all things. Peace.